Good morning, everyone. This is Rimi here. I'm from Bangalore. I'm a working professional, featured wellness coach with Wellness Quotient Community, and mother of a toddler. This session is not about me. It's about someone who is RWQ champion today. Of course, I have worked very closely with him. I know what was the overcoming, but I would like to, invite Mr. Anand Venugopalan for all of you. So can you please spot? Good morning, Anand. I know you, but for everyone who's listening, you today, why don't you introduce about yourself, everything, your background, where you are, and yes, so please. You're not able to. Okay.
Hey, Remy.
Yes.
Very good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Hey, my name is Ananth Venugopalan. I am from Bangalore, but I have lived across the globe. I have a family of my wife and my daughter. My daughter is in UK at this point of time studying her veterinary medicine. And at this point, I'm traveling, so bear me with the backgrounds and so on. So I'm 48 years. 2 days back, I was having my birthday. My what I do in my life. So for the last 26 years, I was a senior director of product management and development at a company called BMC Software. Prior to that, my career started in ISRO as a junior scientist on INSAT 2B, INSAT 3C projects. And then I left and joined a private firm, and I stayed there for 21 years. And then after that, I invested my all savings into two startups. One is into blockchain, and the other one is into a supply chain management software development solution. So I have a strong team with me. We invested on a company and we acquired that. That's my background as a professional. Apart from that, my job makes me travel quite often. So I had traveled 46 countries, 35 times to US itself, and so on. So that's my life. So my timings, my disciplines were all improper before this program. Over to you, Rimi.
Absolutely. So, being founder of two startup, when he came to me and, it was, I still remember the first day, the conversation we had and your pain points. Because when you are traveling, you are actually going haywire, right? Your routine and everything was going completely in a different direction. So, what was your health condition specifically? Of course, the weight loss is byproduct, which we can see today. But what were you suffering from physically? If you can tell us that part which you discussed with me initially.
So physically, the biggest challenge, I mean, it could sound funny. So I like to play badminton, and I play still today baddie. For last 20, 25 years, I've been playing. I'm not a good professional, but I want to keep myself engaged. So what happens over the career or when you play baddie is you see some freshers who do not know how to catch racket. We train them, we play with them, we become buddies. And after Corona, when I started again playing the baddie, the same old guys will not play with me because I used to get tired quite often. After game one, I had to take rest for another game. So then I realized that these guys are not engaging me in playing badminton. That's when I realized this cannot be the way forward for me.
Absolutely. See, this is a small thing, right? And then that time probably you realize, oh, I'm 45 plus and I now, they're not including me in the game. And obviously the acidity chapter which came in, why don't you just throw some light there where your acidity was at the peak?
Okay. So there are direct and indirect effects of this acidity, which I know about. Direct is like, hey, you don't have food at the right time because all of us, I see many of you are like in the mid level, right? And we skip our lunch. So when you skip our lunch or skip our food or any other things, we just think that, hey, acidity has come, we take a medicine. But the consequences I learned the hard way. And I have been educated by a good friend of mine who is a homeopathy doctor. So what happens when you have problems with acidity? Your esophagus has problems, you get throat infections, and then you get cold, then you get fever. this is what is the consequence of it, and then you have to take medicines to recover out of that, right? Now, all of us at one point we think, hey, what's the best thing I can do to reduce the medicine intake? And I want that to be the target for me, right? So the medicine intake has to be reduced. That's the one direct impact of acidity. What's the indirect impact of it? Naturally, you are a family, you have to go with the family for shopping or some occasion. Acidity kicks in, it hits your brain. You feel like, hey, let's go back, let's run back to our cocoons, let's stay in our bedrooms. That's the safest place for us. You do not know what is the impact of that indirectly, right? Because this frustration, when you drive, you see somebody doing a small mistake, you'll start shouting at them. Or you'll say, what's wrong with these guys, right? Those thought processes, what comes into your mind. That's the indirect impact of acidity, which I faced. I'm not sure about others, but this is what I faced. And I had to go through a couple of years to learn this is the root cause of all my shoutings and angriness and all those things.
Yes, absolutely. So when Anand came, he was like, I am on medication. I am on, acidity medication, but this is what is killing me because I really have to check out what I eat, what I not. Like he said, right? His mindset. So if you can tell, because physically it was bothering you. But when it came to that emotionally, like, of course, I knew what has happened, but please tell us that what was going on, how you were in the down phase when you came.
Yeah, I mean, it impacts the family much, right? I mean, you all of us live in a nuclear thing, right? And you have one wife, one kid, and you start shouting at everybody, and then the whole balance of the family goes down. In the office, you find mistakes in presentations, which is not what you're supposed to do because everybody is an individual. So every angle of yours, you start cribbing, and that impacts the relationship which you have with your family, your friendships, your relationship, your colleagues, your comrades, and whatever it is, right? That's the impact. And then it's like a bridge, it's like a small thread. You break it, it cannot be stitched back. So that I have seen the bad way, the horrible way. I have lost good friends in those cycles. And some of them came back to me because they knew that, hey, this is what is the problem. So we feel like acidity is a very small thing, but it can create big rippling effects on our life.
Exactly. This is what I wanted to say. Some problems just sound so normal, right? Just acidity. You just take one pill and you are fine next day. It might be because of the spicy food. But when we had a discussion in the initial discussion, when I was going through each and every aspect of his life, I realized that this deep-rooted physical issue has caused so much at the emotional level where things were not balanced. Well, these were things, and of course, he had weight gain as well. So quite a lot of weight was also there. Now you are out of the program. Actually, he's in the maintenance phase now. He is maintaining it very well. Now I want you to tell how is it now in terms of your physical health, because you keep traveling. Because initial days he used to travel and we used to plan the meal before he travels because we are not sure whether he'll get this or that. But now things are different. So Anand, yes, now how it is now.
Yeah, the planning is still there, but I mean, like most of you, I like to eat new food. Like when you go to a new place, you like to eat a new food, and that's my liking towards. But now I know where to stop, when to stop, and how much quantity is needed for me, right? I taste everything. I don't keep anything left over. I order what I need or my family needs. And the first thing is do not keep anything left over because all of us are from this continent and our parents are taught that there are millions who do not have food, right? So that's the primary thing. The second thing is if you want to eat it. But the rest you have to plan it. So make sure you have a count of a small calculator like, hey, I ate so many grams, which can contribute to so many calories. And then the consequence of this is this. It can be spicy, non-spicy, whatever it is. And for the compensate by the recommendations which Remy had given to me quite often. So there was a time when I started this program and when I had to travel in India, I would pack idlis with me, go across, and at the hotel I would say, hey, can you warm it up for me? I just want that. No sugar. For last 8 months, I had no sugar in any form, no bakery items like maida or biscuits or cake or anything. I didn't have any of those. no oily food, including a papad, which we would put in a oil. So for 8 months, I quit all those things. But once I had to travel again back to the European thing, I said, okay, I will not have oily food, but let me have some bread. I had it for a month's time, and I feel that my statistics are flat now. And it's not one-time exercise; it has to be continued throughout my life. So I'm going to follow that by God's grace. If it happens, I'm going to follow it throughout the last.
Absolutely. See, this is the perks of wellness. This is what it is. And that's what, as a community, we take pride in what we, portray. Because that's what we have been seeing. He's maintaining his, and you understand, right? The kind of work, the kind of commitment he has on his plate. Despite this, now he takes it in a very positive way. So now, how is your relationship with all your people around you, with all your family? How is it now, Anand? Because that was not good. So now how it is?
Now, I really have to ask them about me, but I feel it is good, cordial now. Uh, on the client, on the office side, it's pretty good. I'm trying to make it very light. So first of all of us, at least me, have a bad habit of doing micromanagement. So I'm reading books about how to avoid that. Let everybody contribute. All are not same, but things are looking good for me at least. And the real answers can be given by the people on the other side. So I feel it has to be, but I feel it's confident on this side.
Yes, absolutely. Because see, Anand has inspired a lot of people in his circle. That itself shows, like, he's doing right. And I would really like to see this. He spoke about the internal things, but the outcome or the byproduct was hooping 13 kgs of weight loss. So yes, here it is. And yes, 14 kgs. Yes.
Yeah, is that me?
Yes, it is you, and it was you when you came. So I think you have really done a great job, and you have taken the wellness path very seriously.
Thank you, Rumi.
So Anand, this journey was definitely not easy with all the tracking and everything. Uh, can you just tell us that if you have to really uh, contribute this to 3 points, 3 things which you feel that if this three were not there, I wouldn't have been here where I am. What do you think?
Sure. So randomly, right? I'm a guy who try to bucketize things, right? So there are 3 buckets which I will hold on to. One is all of us have talent, great energy, but it's the right mentor who can say, hey, this is the right thing for you. So like imagine, right? All of you have a good, super strong 2800cc V8 engine. You can drive in any highway, but there are rules of the land. There are lanes which you have to follow. And if you don't follow, you're not keeping yourself safe. You're not keeping others safe on the same lane. That's the same practice which we have to follow. So there is a lane, and that lane lines, right? The white lines in the highway, that was described to me by Remy, my mentor, right? So when you drive your life, you have to be within that lines. When you cross, you automatically have to come back to the lanes. This way, you're keeping yourself safe. This way, you're keeping your family safe. And you don't have to have extra expenditures which might come at any point if you're not following the lane discipline. That's the first thing. So you need to have a mentor who will define the lane. And that mentorship is for short duration, but that lane is for your life. Follow that lane. And always follow the rule of the game. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is discipline, right? Lane is something somebody can define, but are you following it? That's the discipline which you have to keep in life. Third part is you should have a target, right? When you're driving from Bangalore to Mysore, you say, hey, I'm not going to overspeed. I'm going to maintain 17. My vehicle should get me the maximum mileage and all my family. So you should have the target saying, hey, I want to reach in this fashion, not disturbing anybody. So my target was I wanted to wear a 36 jeans. Sorry, very small one, but that's what I wanted to wear, a 36 jeans, which I was wearing in my college days. That's one of the things which I wanted to. Because when you go to a shop, you'll surely get an XL sized jeans or an XL sized thing. But you know, the look of that lady who will be in the counter and saying, you need an Excel, that's not the right thing. So I wanted to I mean, I have set small targets for me. So I said, okay, let's start with the 36 jeans of flying machine. That's what I used to wear in my college days, which I couldn't wear for a long time. So that's setting targets, small targets is what I followed. And that's one of the buckets. Now the next biggest bucket is I had to travel across the globe. I'm almost reaching that retirement stage, but I had to travel, invest in one more company also.
Absolutely. So Anand, I mean, now you are using the vessels also, right? You with the
Oh, yes.
vessels. That part I really want you to tell, because the moment you started using food cooked in those vessels, you are at different level when you came and told me. How did that contribute to your goal?
So I want to be honest with all of you. I'm not good in the kitchen. I can be a support assistant, but I'm not the leader there in the kitchen. But I can eat. And I can give you suggestions also, which may not be acceptable. So all this while, my wife has been the primary force behind me following all these things. She cooks for me. And I just wash the plates sometimes. So the plates or the utensils which we have got from WQs, they don't stick the food what you get, right? And that's what I've seen. So when I put some vegetables or something for uh, just touch heating and all, that the plate is intact or the utensils is intact and it does not burn. And food is also not overcooked. You don't get carbon contents like the black spots and so on. So that is what I would like to eat. I don't like to have burnt food in my plate. So that's one thing which, and I mean, after this utensil have come to our house, most of our cooking is in that, including for not only for me, my wife, my kid. Now she's in different place, but most of the cooking is in that place. Hey, Shankar is raising his hand. I think time's up, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. So,
You have eagle's eyes, so your eyes are everywhere.
oh, okay. Sorry about that. So the credit should go to my wife, literally. 98% to her, 2% to me, because I'm supporting washing and all these things. You know what I'm referring to. But we have been, that has become a main part of our cooking now. The utensils from WQ has become a main part of our cooking. Not only for mine, but the whole family or any guest who comes in.
So you have not taken any medication so far for acidity, right? And has it stopped completely?
God is seeing me, but at this point, I have not taken for the last 8 months. But I don't know God's decisions. But at this point, not taken.
See, obviously, he was with nutrition, with workout, with everything. Being a player himself, he was like, he knew the importance, but the importance of right cooking was something he had to learn. And at this age, if he can, pick it up and say, okay, I'm ready to change, I think, I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying that at any point of time, you should be ready. That's what I meant. Okay.
No, really,
So, yes.
I'm used to it now because every time I stand in a queue, somebody will come and say, Uncle, can you move away? So I'm used to this. Don't worry about it.
No, definitely.
It
I mean, you
happened.
are doing really well. All the
It happened in
parameters and
it happened in a queue in Abu Dhabi where I was there 2 days back. I was standing to buy something. Then one, I think, just married couple who might have had their honeymoon in Abu Dhabi, they came. I could see all those bangles in that lady. And she said, Uncle, can you move? Because I have to go. I said, I'm also standing in the queue. She thought somebody else is standing for me and I'm wasting the space and also. She said, move away.
you should definitely, when you talk about your parameters, nobody would call you uncle. That's what I'm sure. So here we come at the last part of the conversation. I am absolutely enjoying it. That the last thing which I want you to tell to everyone, this 246 people who are listening to you, is what one thing you want to suggest them? Anybody who is in their journey or anybody who's thinking to get started in the journey, what's your suggestion or what's your tip?
I don't know. So I always have a punch word, right? I tell myself when I'm lying low, I say, hey, never give up. This may be a up or it may be a down. After that, there's a big sunlight somewhere. So let's focus. Let's stay on the game. Let's stick to our targets, the small targets. Never give up. That's the only punch word which I follow for myself. And I know some of my good friends, a bit elderly, bit younger to me, or in the same age, when they go live. I mean, all of us have ups and downs, right? But this is a step in our transformation. This is a bogey in which we have to get in and make sure that we follow the things. And I know some of my good friends, a bit elderly, bit younger to me, or in the same age, when they go live. I mean, all of us have ups and downs, right? But this is a step in our transformation. This is a bogey in which we have to get in and make sure that we follow the things. And And if you never follow up, you'll surely see the sunlight. That's what I believe in. So if you want to get in, get in. Take a chance. There's nothing going to be negative about it. If you're already in, stick to this. You'll sure see the light. And if you're already come out of that bogey, maintain that. So never give up. Never give up is what I would say as a punch word for this.
Thank you so much, Anand. I think we really enjoyed having this conversation with you. And thank you for taking out time and sharing your story with all of us.
All the best, folks. And thank you, Rimi. Special thanks to Rimi. She has been very consistent. She follows up. Her communication is really effective. I mean, sometimes I might miss out, but she will ping and say, hey, you didn't send the photo of what you had today. So thank you, Rimi. Truly appreciate this.
Thank you so much.